sinister black 1946 Ford Super Deluxe convertible from the movie Back to the Future was less of a hero but more of a villain. But in 1984's Karate Kid, the 1946 Ford Super Deluxe convertible was told a different story. Let's talk about the Karate Kid 1946 Ford Super Deluxe convertible. The convertible used by Daniel is a 1947 Ford Super Deluxe convertible, a car very similar to the one Biff Tannen drove in the movie Back to the Future. In fact, both films took place in the early 1980s. Karate Kid took place in 1984 and Back to the Future was in 1985. Both of the films starred two protagonists being antagonized by bullies, and both of them had shared a quite similar future. Both of them did drive older cars, but the one feature that was almost similar to these two movies is that both of them share the exact same Ford. In Back to the Future, Biff Tannen drove a black 1946 Ford Super Deluxe convertible, but the Karate Kid, the car was yellow and it was in 1947. What makes the timeline so similar is that both of them had different tastes. While Back to the Future is about time travel and alternating reality, Karate Kid took off as a self-defense movie, and it basically represents the Rocky franchise as a whole. The 1947 Ford Super Deluxe convertible used in Karate Kid was yellow, while the Back to the Future Ford Super Deluxe convertible was a 1946 model painted black. The yellow Ford convertible used by Karate Kid was a more gentle, more nicer color, while in Back to the Future, the black Ford Super Deluxe convertible was deemed more menacing, sinister, had that nasty personality of a bully. What made the 1947 Ford Super Deluxe convertible of Karate Kid is that it did not just become a car, it became an actor itself. Daniel LaRusso's voice actor Ralph Macchio actually owned the car himself as a birthday gift, who actually was young and didn't know how to drive a column shifter and had to practice. One missed shift and the car would grind between gear shifting, and that's how the story works. While Back to the Future portrayed the Ford Super Deluxe convertible as a villain, the Karate Kid treats it more of an actor, a legend, and a hero. And that is how Karate Kid made a icon so recognizable. Even though one convertible was making a character look like a villain, the other one in 1984's Karate Kid surely was definitely called a hero for its own right.